Finally, from the blending of imagination and technology, the world's first truly personal hovercraft is here, and it answers to the name SCAT.
How's it going, everybody? Long time no see. Hope everyone's doing well and staying safe. I filmed this footage about a month ago, and I'm just now getting around to working on this. I've been pretty busy with school and stuff like that, but yeah, we have a hovercraft now for the channel, guys. This thing is going to be awesome. We have a lot of new projects planned for this. We're going to fix it up, paint it, make some new bags for it, and have some pretty cool adventures with this thing. So what this is a SCAT II personal hovercraft. These were built in the mid-80s, early 90s by a company called SCAT, and they were actually based out of Miami, Florida, which is pretty cool, not too far from here. And they end up going bankrupt, not sure why. They produce an amazing vehicle like this. So just showing you guys around the craft. We have the propeller in the back that produces all the thrust. It actually splits some of the thrust downwards and puts it into the bags that are underneath the hovercraft itself. And those bags are what allows the hovercraft to float on a cushion of air. And there's little holes around the whole, like underside of the hull, which is what allows the air to flow through and get into the bags. So what's powering this thing is a Koyuna UL02 engine. It's just a 2-cylinder air-cooled, pretty much like an ultralight engine. They use them in ultralights a lot, with just a single Mikuni carburetor. It is a 2-stroke, so I do have to mix the fuel, but it has a little gearbox on the back of it and a propeller on the back of the gearbox. So most of the thrust is actually pushed out the back, and you have these little rudders that allow you to make some kind of like adjustments on where the thrust is being directed. But a lot of the maneuvering, you have to like throw your body weight around kind of. So some of these clips you might see me like leaning to one side, and that makes a huge difference when you're trying to turn and you lean. It turns on a dime. If you don't, it's really hard to control kind of. So but yeah, so most of the thrust is directed outwards into the back, and then some of the thrust on the bottom of the like the propeller cowling, the housing it's in, it gets directed. Some of the thrust gets directed underneath the actual hovercraft, and it routes it all the way around into all these little bags, or what they call them is fingers. And those fingers, they inflate with air, and that's what allows you to hover over all these surfaces. So with all these fingers on this skirt right here, I've actually had to repair and replace a few of them already. They were just getting old and worn out, but it was very simple. I went down to the local fabric store. I got some kind of nylon-backed fabric, and I was able to take the old finger off and pretty much replicate it out of this other fabric. And it's very similar fabric, very durable, marine grade stuff. And it's pretty cool how each one of these fingers are held on. So the top of the finger is held on by a few clips, little metal clips that go on there. And then the bottom side is actually held together with some kind of zip ties onto a nylon like circle clip almost. And the circle clip is then riveted into the hull. So they do it like that because if you hit something, or if one of the fingers snags on something, it'll be more likely to break the zip tie than actually tearing something or doing more damage. So I thought that's pretty interesting how that's made. So when driving this thing on the water, or should I say flying this thing on the water, it's very stable and very easy to control. On the land, it's a little bit more harder to control. You really have to throw your body weight around, but on the water, it just goes so much faster than on the land, and it's so much fun. Honestly, I could go over pretty much anything with this thing, other than like rocks or something like that. But anything with flat ground, I could go over these reeds, all that kind of stuff with no issues. So I'm not 100% sure on the top speed. I'll be checking that pretty soon. I want to put like a GPS app on my cell phone and kind of figure that out. But my friend that owned this before me, he said it was like maybe high 20s, low 30s, somewhere around there. And I could definitely tell once you get this thing going on a straight line, it just picks up so much speed. And it feels like you're going like 50 miles an hour. I'm sure it's not, but I feel like it might be similar to if you're riding a motorcycle or something like that, where it's just like it feels like you're going faster than you really are. So when I was younger, I remember watching a James Bond movie. It was the James Bond Die Another Day movie, and in the beginning there was a really cool hovercraft chase scene. And prior to this, I didn't really know about hovercrafts. I don't remember how young I was, but I'd never seen a hovercraft before, and I was I thought this was the coolest thing ever watching this scene. And you know, I never really looked into them. I never really even thought about buying one, or I didn't even know that you could buy one. But one of my friends was telling me about one that he was trying to sell. And so I started looking them up, and I just started getting very excited about, you know, researching these things. And, you know, the price was right, and it needed a little bit of work, but it was all stuff that I knew I could handle, stuff I knew I could do. And so, yeah, we went ahead and picked it up, and, you know, I thought it was going to be perfect, too, because I have this, you know, backyard where I live on a lake. So I have a really big lake in my backyard. I have land to ride it on. And you know, I think we could have some really cool videos on this thing, and, you know, do some really cool things with it, have some adventures, stuff like that. I think it'd be awesome. Let me know if you guys like this thing. If you have any suggestions or like any cool ideas for this thing, just let me know down in the comments. And also, normal Humvee content should be coming up very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed.